Hey Airsofters, I thought I'd do a review on my new Krytac Trident SPR MK2. This gun's fairly new to me. I've had it for a few weeks. I've had it out in the field a few times, and I want to give you guys my initial thoughts and review, if you will, on this particular gun. There are unboxing videos online, but I'm going to quickly kind of go through some of the things that you get with it, and maybe something that's a few things to note, and hopefully get some helpful tips and a couple surprises maybe, and then I'll kind of go through the gun and its basics, pointing out some of the things that I really like. There's nothing about this gun that I don't like, so I'm not going to even talk about that. So let's get started. First off, what do you get? So the marketing material from Krytac actually says that you get a mid-cap magazine with this, and I'm a mid-cap guy. I run the Pts Mag caps. I'll do a different video on these later on, a short one, because these work fantastic. They're a great mid-cap magazine. So if you're a high-cap person, well, bonus, at least with my weapon, it comes with a high-cap magazine, contrary to the marketing material or what I've read online about what this gun is supposed to come with. So metal high-cap, that's kind of a bonus, kind of nice. I always carry at least one of those in the field with me when I run out, just in case I get a little trigger happy. The other things it comes with are iron sights, front and rear, of course, metal, good quality in general, with one downside to this particular piece, nothing to the gun's fault, but this rear sight, for whatever reason, when I got it up to the elevation that I needed, it would start to get a little bit wiggly. A friend of mine has also had bought one of the Mark IIs pretty much at the same time I did, and his had the same problem. So I don't really care about it, because I knew at the end of the day I was going to replace it with my Dagger Defense red dot, which I'm really happy with. It has red and green, adjustable brightness, different sight pictures, and really happy with that. But the other things that you get, this is pretty thoughtful by Krytac. This is actually a little extra Keymod to regular rail attachment or piece. You just take this, it's a little Keymod at the bottom, but it's regular on the outside. So if you've got an existing foregrip and you don't want to buy a new one, you can just attach this to the bottom here, or whatever other attachments you run, and then attach your existing accessory that would fit this onto the Keymod rail system, which I'll talk about in a second. So pretty thoughtful by Krytac. It's kind of cool. Not something I'm going to use, I don't think, but you just never know. So that's kind of nice, and I think you can get these in longer sections too. So if you want to, you got a bunch of attachments up here in one of those guys, then I think you can buy longer section of these so you can attach. These are obviously a lot less expensive than buying all new Keymod specific accessories. So the other thing comes with, of course, the hyper orange flash hider, which we all know and hate or love, depending on where you're at. I don't need it here where I live, so I took it off and I replaced it with a metal flash hider from Krytac, which weighs about 48 pounds, not in a bad way. I was just surprised at how beefy it was. It's something I'd probably put on my regular AR, to be honest with you. But it went right on, no problem. One thing to remember is if you're going to remove it, there is a little bit of glue in here to begin with, and so you can heat it up with a hairdryer or something if you want to. I didn't. I just kind of used a little bit brute force and ignorance. But back out that screw, and then remember, this is a reverse thread. So what that means is you unscrew it by turning it clockwise. You unscrew it by turning it clockwise. If you try to turn it counterclockwise, you're just making it tighter. So a couple tips about the tips, pun intended. Heat it up first a little bit, maybe with a hairdryer or something like that. Get the glue a little bit softer. And then when you take it off, make sure you're turning it clockwise. So that's what you get with the gun. Now let's get into the gun. Other than the metal flash hider, the Fortis Keymod foregrip, and the Dagger Defense red dot, this gun is completely stock, interior or inside and out, internal and exterior. So probably the first noticeable feature is the Keymod rail system. It is super comfortable. It's super sleek. I love the way it feels in my hands. My regular rifles have rails, and I've got to have covers over the top of them and a bunch of other stuff. But this is it's just a fantastic, first of all, looking system, but a very, very comfortable system to your hand. I wear gloves when I airsoft, but it's just something about the way that this feels. It's narrow, it's tight, it's got more height than it does girth, if you will. Probably some guys laughing out there about girth, but anyways, that's probably the most prominent feature that you can see from that far away. But that kind of leads me into my next topic, which is the quality and the fit and the finish. The paint, the fit, nothing rattles, nothing misaligns, there's no blemishes on here. Everything is spot on. This actually looks in some ways better than my Bushmaster and or some Colts that I've seen from an exterior perspective. It's that good. So if you're really into the exterior fit and finish of your weapon, it's hitting 5 out of 5 stars on that one. A few features that I'm surprised by that I like the look of, but I thought maybe they were kind of gimmicky. And one is the flat trigger. The flat trigger looks really cool. I think it's all my other weapons have curved triggers. This one has a flat one, and I don't really know if flat makes that much of a difference, but the trigger pull on this gun feels much more positive than it does on any other airsoft gun I've had, and in some ways my regular real weapons feel. So really cool feature, not only looking good but also functional. Maybe it's in my head, don't know, don't care. Trigger guard, kind of nice little cutout there. Again, nice little feature. Just something, detail, right? This gun's all about details, but it doesn't skip the functionality and performance for those details. Defiance pistol grip, super comfortable, very ergonomic, feels great, especially with gloves on. What else? The fire selector switch, single to full auto, very positive. Feels good. You know exactly where you're at when you flick it around. It is also ambidextrous, so you can go both sides. Very nice. I use that a lot more than I thought I would actually. So just for checking and things like that, you can just, you know, your thumb's right here, but I don't know. It's just nice having both sides. Probably my favorite feature of this is the catch that stays open. You've probably seen this before on other videos, things like that. It's got a rotary style hop up. I've had rotary style hop ups before in other guns, and I really like them for the fact that they're super easy to use and make adjustments in the field in general. But none of my other airsoft guns had the ability to for the catch to stay open. So I was always kind of out in the field, kind of doing a little bit of this and holding it open and trying to get the whatever. But the ability to make an adjustment on this on the fly is a lot more valuable than I think a lot of people realize, because if you get out in the field and you're in an all-day game and it gets a little windy or whatever and you need to make adjustments, the rotary style hop-up makes that really easy to do first and foremost, regardless of what gun you have. But the fact that the Krytac stays open, you can make that adjustment and then hit the release. I'll show that to you again. Makes it infinitely more user-friendly. So they're also going from maybe 28 gram to 25 gram, 0.25s, not 28, but 0.25s or 0.28s. You can make a quick adjustment on the fly depending on the conditions and things like that and what you've got on your kit. So really cool. The probably the last thing I'll talk about is the buttstock. Obviously multi-position buttstock, 1 through 6. And on the back here is where the battery goes. There's a couple, pinch these 2 little tabs here, and the battery cover comes off very easily. And tons of room down in here for batteries. I run a 1300 mAh Turnigy Nanotech 11.1 LiPo with a 25C constant and 50C burst. Gun runs great on it, fits perfectly. It's still nunchuck style. And I put 2 on one side and 1 on the other side. Plug it in, good to go. This gun does have a built-in MOSFET, as you guys probably already know, but coming from the manufacturer, again, another really nice feature. What else? Oh, if you want to take the buttstock off, this is kind of nice. Pretty simple, straightforward. Instead of trying to finagle there's other buttstocks out there that you can, obviously most buttstocks, all buttstocks will come off, but with this one, it's really nice. You can just pull that, comes right off. So again, another useful user-friendly feature by Krytac. And I think that's it. A couple mounts, one for Cutie and your normal sling mount. Again, Krytac Trident SPR MK2. Fantastic, fantastic airsoft rifle. I'm not going to get into the performance of it, but I will tell you that it's a laser. It sends them down range. I use .28s. People know when they're hit by this, and it shoots really, really accurately, very consistently, and I couldn't be happier. So hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. And if you've seen this in the corner and wonder what this is a Pts Mag that fits in here like a rock star. I will do a video on this mag specifically at a later date, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy airsofting.